everybody. Welcome to the first South African LGBTI Business Summit. We know that Plus is hosting this event. We've just heard from important people of this organization. We know that Plus is an organization that is breaking grounds, breaking barriers, helping LGBTI entrepreneurs to get their jobs done. That's why this conference and this meeting or summit is so important. I'm Shahan Ramkisoon from ENCA News. I currently host a business show. Every day I look at stories that are negative. I talk about a recession. I talk about the difficulties of the rand collapsing. Things that are negative. And when I got the opportunity to actually facilitate this event, I saw it as a positive. It's something that I feel that we should always look for in a society that many would say is struggling. Many would say our economy is collapsing. It's at a point where we don't know which direction we're going in. This summit is just a small piece of how we can actually change things, get it going in the right direction. And we're focusing on the LGBTI community because we know what we can do. Yes, and I'm going to say we, because I'm a part of that community. This summit will basically give us the opportunity to question the role of the LGBTI community in South Africa. We know we're important. We now want recognition. It's not, of course, for us to say we need special preference. We just want to be recognized for the talent that we bring to society, for the talent that we bring to the economy of South Africa. We want companies to recognize that they have LGBTI members working for them. We want them to make it easy for the community to work in companies, recognize who we are, recognize what we can do, because when you do that, we'll give you more. We already do more as individuals in the community as well. Just some house rules before we get started and we get the welcome address from ABSA, who's giving us this beautiful venue. It's something to look at. It makes you excited to be at a meeting like this, not a boring conference venue. Of course, we are going to have refreshments for you, tea, coffee, no wine just yet. Sorry, a little later maybe, because you're talking business. You can always access that at the front of where you entered from. If you do need lavatories, go out through the entrance again, turn right, follow the subway system. You'll see the sign saying toilets. You'll even hear trains stopping by, remind you of your trips to London. In case of any emergencies, any medical needs, please reach out to the ABSA team. They are there to help you out. They're fully equipped to get through anything that you need in terms of emergency or assistance. And yeah, the password to the Wi-Fi in 2018 is something we all want to know. I saw some of you taking selfies a little earlier, so you can post it. Log on to the Equinox Wi-Fi, and then, of course, the password is exponential. There's also a free ABSA link that you can use as well, which you can get yourself going. The hashtag for today, please write it down. We want people to talk about this outside of this meeting. So whatever you comment on, the hashtag is LGBTIBiz. That's B-I-Z. All right, enough from me, because I'm just facilitating this event. There's so many speakers here. There's so many things we're going to talk about. We'll get through each session individually so that we actually keep track of it and move through in a smooth pace. We'll hear from Dean Ebden in a short while from Plus, but before we hear from Dean, who's going to welcome you all, let's hear from ABSA. I mean, these are the guys who have us here. These are the guys hosting the event, and Lee Francis is the co-chairperson of ABSA Spectrum Network.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Please, good morning.
Good morning.
So look, it's a great privilege for us. Let me just unhook myself. There we go. Great privilege for us to be able to host this event here today, and welcome to all of our guests here for the very first LGBTI Plus Summit. I'm looking forward to spending today with most of you, and I caught up with quite a lot of you earlier on, and will continue to do that throughout the day. Yeah, look, thanks for coming. Who's been to this venue before? None of you? Okay, one person. Okay, so welcome to, this is the venue that we call Equinox. We're going to take care of you today. If there's anything that we can do, or if you've got any questions, there's a few of us from ABSA, please shout and we'll do what we can just to try and make it even as comfortable as it needs to be. So, I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Chief Security Office within ABSA. Yes, I did arrive from London back in 2006, as you can hear from the accent. And I'm also the co-chair for the co-chair for the ABSA Spectrum Network. We launched that network back probably 4 years ago now, 2014, and we've had some really, really good success as ABSA in that network. Let me tell you a couple of things that we've done. We've also been quite prominent at Johannesburg Pride. We've been prominent in Pretoria and Cape Town Pride. We've also managed to make a lot of adjustments internally to internal policies with regards to our colleagues. So, for example, same-sex beneficiary rights, that wasn't a thing that was possible in this organisation. We managed to change some of those things, which is great. And also something as simple as corporate wear for colleagues that are facing off to our customers and in branches. We also made some changes to some of those rules to try and open things up. So that's just a couple of things that we've been doing as a network. We also have a strong ally following. We know the majority of colleagues in this organisation are straight, so we bring them with us on the journey. And I think we've probably got 700-800 or so people that are signed up to our network, which we've had great success over. We've achieved that in the last few years. So that's kind of what I do. And what else can I tell you about? I guess probably some prominent stuff around. We've been quite busy since the announcement of the Barclays sell down. So Barclays Spectrum is where we started this 4 years ago. And I think with the announcement of that sell down, that's given us the opportunity to say, right, what do we need to do? What's good from that? What do we need to learn from that? And what do we need to do better? And I guess that's probably why events such as this are important. Because, you know, that's daunting. We've been under the Barclays leadership, the Barclays parent, for probably 11 years or so. And I think now is the opportunity for us to stand on our own 2 feet. Right, so very much looking forward to the collaboration that brings us today and talking to you with regards to that. What else can I tell you here? Okay, so yeah, look, in my role in the Chief Security Office, I think we are forever trying to keep abreast of what's going on. Things are changing daily, things are changing by the week. And I think that's also why it's important to get together in a forum such as this today. We don't have all of the answers, but I'm hoping by the end of today, if the conversation continues, we can try to understand what this means for us as we go further. So last words from me. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the other foundation. Looking forward to doing some more work with you guys. Thank you to the co-sponsors as well. And also thank you for the organisers at Equinox, which is this site. So maybe we can just give a round of applause for this. I'm sure they can hear me behind the scenes. They've done a fantastic job and they're going to take really good care of us today. So, so look forward to engaging with you. Enjoy today. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
All right, so let's hear from someone from an organization that actually made this possible. And I don't think many people know about Plus just yet, because when I heard about them going into this, I was quite surprised by the work they do. Do yourself a favor, Google it and look exactly what this organization does. It's outstanding. And I think they deserve recognition for what they're doing. Let's welcome Dean Ebden Hitsera, as I found out just now. He's, of course, an executive committee member at PLUS.
Good morning, everybody. Dr. Arnold, my name is Dean Ebden, and I'm part of the working group of PLUS. On behalf of the other foundation, our partners, ABSA, EY, Shell, Uber, and the South African LGBT Plus Management Forum, we'd like to welcome you all to this inaugural LGBTI Business Summit. We look forward to your contribution and what you're going to have to put on the table as discussions. Our purpose here today is to position the LGBTI economic muscle in the business sphere by making a strong business case for the economic inclusion of LGBTI people. Part of the summit will also explore ways to open up new business opportunities, and looked at crafting strategies that can leverage on these opportunities. As a gay man, we are keenly aware of the barriers that LGBTI people face as we enter spaces where we are in the minority. By breaking down these barriers, we not only empower ourselves, we create a larger pool of citizens who can contribute to the overall growth of the South African economy. Economic empowerment is essential to rendering agency to a community that continues to face enormous obstacles in accessing social justice, not to mention the high prevalence of violence experienced by black lesbians in particular. The summit is a culmination of serious commitment and hard work by members of the PLUS working group. For our members here, Andrea, do you see any? There's Louis, please stand up. Andrea, Louis, there was a group of people that put together for the last 3-4 years working to make this summit a possibility, as well as putting in systems to ensure that PLUS is a success. Thank you, guys. On that note, I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of and the contribution of EY, APSA, UBA, and the LGBTIT Working Forum. The process of setting up this organization has taken us to all the major centers of the country, and where we will witness to the incredible spirit and ambitions of LGBTI business people, passionately making a difference in their lives and that of their communities. This in spite of the difficulties that some of them experience in setting up these businesses. These entrepreneurs are setting up their business agendas and vigorously driving their businesses to the next level. As PLUS, we salute these entrepreneurs and continue to support and empower them through platforms such as these. And on behalf of PLUS again and the members of the working committee, I'd like to say a very special thank you to our partners, APSA, EY, Shell, Uber, for making today possible. We'd like to acknowledge the generous support and commitment towards ensuring the success of this summit. And lastly, a very big thank you to Neville Gabriel and his entire team at the Other Foundation for their guidance, unwavering support of PLUS. We value this relationship, Neville, and we look forward to strengthening it in the near future. I'd also like to encourage the participants to take advantage of the summit by engaging with the moderators, engaging with the breakaway sessions that's about to happen, and most importantly, developing networks while you are here. Thank you.
It's great to see that people can work together and all in an effort to help one another become successful in the world of business. And that's what PLUS is doing as an organization. And I'll continue to boast about them, I guess, for the rest of my life, because I've learned something about a group that is not working for any specific goal in terms of making a name for itself by doing good, but they're just doing it because I didn't hear about them before I got here. And that tells you it's an organization that's actually working instead of boasting about working. So we know who brought us here, but why are we here? And that's the talking point here. Of course, this summit wants to look at and present the strongest possible business case for the inclusion of the LGBTI community in South Africa. We're going to tell the country why we believe that they need to know about LGBTI businesses, LGBTI-owned businesses. We also need to encourage and show companies around the country that have people working for them who form part of the community, that they need to look after them. They need to look out for them in order to get more from people in this community. We'll have several panel discussions that will be broken up over the next couple of hours. We're here until 5 p.m., so I hope you have your thinking caps on. It's going to be a long day, but it's all worth it because it's a topic that we're passionate about. It's a topic that's going to see ultimately, I'm not going to say at the end of the day, but ultimately an end result that will get us to a point where we can say, we remember that summit, we remember where it all started, and now we're seeing the results of that summit. The first 4 sessions will see people sitting together, all of us here in a room that can discuss and debate, robust debate, as Greta Montashe from the ANC says, is necessary when you go into these discussions, because we don't want it to be wishy-washy, we don't want it to be censored in any way. It needs to be frank. We need to be frank and real about how we actually go about making this possible. And then we'll go into breakaway sessions, 3 in particular. The room will divide, these doors will close. You pick where you want to go and actually contribute to that discussion. Every discussion will have a question and possibly a survey we'll ask you with regards to where you want to see it go, what questions you have, and then the group will look at that as they continue their discussion. We'll start with plenary 1, and this is basically us discussing why the inclusion of the LGBTI community matters in business. will be moderated by Lindiwe Zikali, the Head of Transformation and Regulatory Affairs at Anglo American. Before we get to her actually coming up, let's give you the question. You can actually go to www.sli, S-L-I. I'll wait for you to write it down because we want you guys to participate in this. Sli.do, sli.do. This is basically a platform that allows you to access a system where we can see what you're thinking, and we'll bring it up on screen so that nobody's silenced, because the point of you being here is to speak, let us know what you think about things that are said. And in this way, we'll encourage everyone to comment. If there's a survey in a particular section, please vote in it, and we'll bring it up at the end to show you how people in this room actually feel about a specific topic. So it's SLI, S-L-I.do. The event code is LGBTI, which is simple for you to see. And then you go about each plenary session that will come up with a specific question and survey. It'll also pop up on the screen at certain points throughout the day. So please feel free to actually do that. So I think let's start the first session because we have...
Sorry, can you repeat the event code?
The event code is LGBTI. Got it? Yeah. Okay, so let's get an overview of why we're here with Lindiwe Zikali, who's going to moderate this session. Lindiwe? Please feel free to interact as much as possible. I don't like those places where you go and then you just have to sit there and listen and listen and listen. It bores me. So I want to try and avoid that with this process today. Lindiwe is obviously going to moderate the panel. She'll moderate the discussion and get through the nitty-gritties of it. But anything you feel that we're missing, just raise it.